June 26, 1862, General Robert E. Lee initiated his offensive against McClellan's right north flank of the Chickahominy River. A.P. Hill threw his division, reinforced by one of D.H. Hill's brigades, into a series of futile assaults against Brigadier General Fitz John Porter's V Corps, which was drawn up behind Beaver Dam Creek. Confederate attacks were driven back with heavy casualties.
Jackson's Shenandoah Valley divisions, however, were approaching from the northwest, forcing Porter to withdraw the next morning to a position behind Boatswain Creek, just beyond Gaines Mill.
June 27, 1862, General Lee renewed his attacks against Porter's V Corps, which had established a strong defensive line behind Boatswain's Swamp, north of the Chickahominy River. Porter's reinforced V Corps held fast for the afternoon against disjointed Confederate attacks, inflicting heavy casualties.
At dusk, the Confederates finally mounted a coordinated assault that broke Porter's line and drove his soldiers back toward the river. The Federals retreated across the river during the night. Defeat at Gaines Mill convinced McClellan to abandon his advance on Richmond and began the retreat to James River. Gaines Mill saved Richmond for the Confederacy in 1862.
June 27 through 28, 1862, while battle raged on north of the Chickahominy River at Gaines Mill, Magruder demonstrated against the Union line south of the river at Garnett's Farm. To escape artillery crossfire, the Federal defenders from Major General Samuel P. Heintzelman III's Corps refused their line along the river.
The Confederates attacked again near Golding's Farm on the morning of June 28, but were easily repulsed. These fixing actions heightened the fear of the Union High Command that an all-out attack would be launched against them south of the river.
June 29, 1862, Magruder pursued along the railroad and the Williamsburg Road and struck Sumner's Corps, the Union rear guard, with 3 brigades near Savage Station.
Jackson's Confederate Brig General Richard Griffith was mortally wounded during the fight. Jackson's divisions were stalled north of the Chickahominy. Union forces continued to withdraw across the White Oak Swamp, abandoning supplies of more than 2,500 wounded soldiers in a field hospital.
June 30th, 1862, Ewers, Longstreet's, and A.P. Hill's divisions converged on the retreating Union Army in the vicinity of Glendale or Frazier's Farm. Longstreet and Hill's attacks penetrated the Union defense near Willis Church, routing McCall's division.
McCall was captured. Union counterattacks by Hooker's and Kearny's divisions sealed the break and saved their line of retreat along the Willis Church Road. Hunger's advance was stopped on the Charles City Road. Jackson's divisions were delayed by Franklin at White Oak Swamp. Confederate Major General T.H. Holmes made a feeble attempt to turn the Union left flank at Turkey Bridge, but was driven back by Federal gunboats in James River. Union Generals Meade and Sumner and Confederate Generals Anderson, Pender, and Featherston were wounded. This was Lee's best chance to cut off the Union Army from the James River. That night, McClellan established a strong position on Malvern Hill.
June 30th, 1862, the Union rear guard under Major General William Franklin stopped Jackson's divisions at the White Oak Bridge crossing, resulting in an artillery duel, while on the main battle raged 2 miles farther south at Glendale's or Frazier's Farm. White Oak Swamp can be considered part of the Glendale engagement. July 1st, 1862, General Robert E. Lee launched a series of disjointed assaults on the nearly impregnable Union position on Malvern Hill. The Confederates suffered more than 5,300 casualties without gaining an inch of ground.
Despite his victory, McClellan withdrew the entrench at Harrison's Landing on James River, where his army was protected by gunboats. This ended the Peninsula Campaign when McClellan's army ceased to threaten Richmond. Lee sent Jackson to operate against Major General John Pope's army along the Rapidan River, thus initiating the Northern Virginia Campaign.
Slavery chain done broke at last, broke at last.